we got box mode, we got dino mode, we got tank mode, we got Megazord mode. Now time for Smurd P mode. Welcome to the Smurd P video, and today we are looking at the soul of Chogokin of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord. I think I've said it correctly. Now, Power Rangers was one of my first big loves, next to Transformers and Beast Wars. But mainly the 10-year-old in me, I watched the first episode and I was hooked on this thing. And I've never stopped being hooked, even now I still watch it. In fact, I've got it on right now. Yes, I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all. So here is the beautiful box. Nice combining coin there. Megazord, the soul of Chogokin, which I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that I've said correctly. There is the Megazord on the side. Pretty much the whole body looking menacing. And on the back we got the dino combination, and it shows pretty much each sword and what each sword can do. And then you get the Megazord mode, and then the tank mode, and you can even try and do this. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to try and do that, but you can try and do it if you want. So let's get him out of him. Could be a her. Let's get the Zords out of their box. Sorry, just a quick one. Before we move on to the opening, it does come with this very colourful book, which goes through the step-to-step guide. Potentially, I don't think you need it, but it always is handy to go through it. The arms were probably not complicated, but they're very, very smart design how they do it. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty cool. And then you end up with Megazord and his weapons. And a nice little picture in the back. Very nice booklet to go with it. Okay, so here are the dinosaurs together. So we got Saber-toothed Tiger, Pterodactyl, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops, and Mastodon. So let's have a quick look at them individually. So here is Triceratops. And the cool thing, you know, other than the head sculpt is absolutely stunning, these little chains come out, the sides pop out, so which is really nice. Instead of just being inside there, it looks like it adds a bit of weight to it. The back is obviously a blaster, and then obviously once again this side comes in. The head moves up and down. Pretty much. That's pretty much what we got. I thought that the mouth opened, but for some reason, if it does, I'm struggling to open it. So I'm kind of worried that I may bugger it up. So I don't want to do that, obviously. Especially not on camera. It does open, and it looks pretty darn cool, actually. Just adding a little mouth on there so it opens up and down. Very, very cool. And there is the back. Some really nice detail on there. But more importantly, if I can open it, there's the little port plug where you connect to the legs in a minute. Next up is a Pterodactyl, which is probably the easiest out of all of them. And one thing that always bugged me is that, well, unless you've got it in flight mode, you can't really do much with her. I say her because she belongs to the Pink Ranger. It could be a he. I wish this came with a flight stand, because that would have just made this set just that little bit better. But the bottom bit there reminds me of a Transformer, maybe Star Saber. It's got a nice metallic chest piece, which is there. She's got the cannons on the bottom, and she's got a very cool head. And then behind, we have these lovely, lovely wings, which fold in fantastically. You can do it one-handed. We need to start getting some actual camera gear rather than doing this one-handed. Here is the Saber-toothed Tiger, and once again, nice articulation, a beautiful head sculpt. Although I do find these just feel a little bit big, but hey ho, it's neither here nor there. and the chesters go in and out. The awesome thing about this, so when the saber-tooth tiger comes running through the jungle, it kind of jumps in the air and it's got its legs all flapping, so if you want, you can get its legs to kind of do all sorts of poses, etc., which is really nice as a fan. Some nice detail on the sides and back. Not much in there, which is kind of interesting because most of the legacy stuff has had stuff going on in there. That looks very nice. I do like that. That's a very nice color. She has the gun on the back, which extends and wasn't used enough. I would have liked it to have been used a little bit more. But very, very cool. Very good stuff. I am loving this saber-tooth tiger. I almost feel like I need 2 of these Megazords so that I can have them posing in Dino mode, Tank mode, and Megazord mode, because that would be wicked. But that's like a stupid amount of money, which I'm never going to spend. The Mastodon, so the Zords that came, and even in the show, they weren't articulated very well throughout that anyway. So they were always very limited. So it was only, you know, they had Dino mode, and they didn't really do much with Dino mode. It was mainly about firing in Tank mode or just going to Tank mode straight into Megazord mode. But they have given us a little tongue articulation, so the Mastodon can fire freezing ice at us. The color here as well is show accurate, so it's a bit more grayer on this bit rather than the black and the yellow at the back and sides. Not that it matters. I always thought that this, and I'll try and show it in a minute, has probably the coolest transformation out of the whole thing. Now, Tyrannosaurus Rex is probably where we get most of our money spent on. So, the arms kind of trouble me. So, they open, if I can do it, you can open the claws like so, one-handed. But you have to be careful because too much pressure on this arm, and it does seem to come out quite easily. So, but it does the job. It's got a waist rotation, which is kind of nice, and I love the legs. So in terms of legs, whenever we've had a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the past, it's had pointy things out the top of its knees and whatnot. This time they are hidden inside here, down here. I'll show you, if I can show you, come on. I'm gonna do it, and you're just gonna see my hand. Right, anyway, the little pointy bit is in there and it pokes out when you fold it all in. In fact, that's probably what I should have done. You can also store the cannon in its chest. It's got a couple of nice little tabs in there, so you can just put it away. I'm pretty sure that just fell out the moment I did it. One other thing is you've got some nice little leg rotations going on here, and this is why I don't do stuff like this, because it looks terrible. But look at that side panel. That is just stunning. Just flicks up and down depending on what position you get it in. And he also has a nice little bit of articulation in the tail, which is very nice. And if you want, you can get him into this kind of running mode. All we need is love. Sorry, I got my love sign in the background. Yes, that is mine. And here they are running towards, I don't know, Goldar, etc. And this is why I think they've dropped the ball with the stand. You know, it's an expensive figure in itself. So one little stand, which would have held Pterodactyl perfectly, would have looked amazing. So it's just a little bit disappointing with that. So let's turn the figure into tank mode. Okay, so this was the point that I was trying to show you earlier in the video. That was a disaster, and that goes into that little plug there, and it connects, and that's how you connect those two bits. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this on camera. So there are little bits of this that are really fun little transforming mechanisms, as I put it. So I'm going to try and do this on camera. So you take this up, you lift this up into place, and then you bring that all the way in, just flicks over. And it's just such a simple thing, but it's a kind of nice little gimmick, which I thought was a grand idea, rather than try and mess with other things. And we've seen such transformations on Transformer Masterpieces, so much more complicated, etc. But as long as it is fun, you know, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I would never transform a Transformer Masterpiece on screen, because I would do a bad job, and I don't want to advise people how to transform their toys in case it goes wrong, and I get the blame. Nobody likes getting the blame. So here is the Dinozords combined into tank mode, which looks very cool. In fact, from this angle, you know, you could have blasters coming out of here, even the Tyrannosaurus head, and even probably the Pterodactyl's head. So, which is cool. And it was probably not something that was really explored, but this thing looks absolutely beautiful together like this. Just want to show it rolling along. It rolls along quite nicely, actually. But very cool. I'd say it connects really well. Everything connects well. So this connects in here. These connect at the side. These connect to the back. These have a port that connect to the legs, which you would expect. This bit at the back, this pterodactyl, it plugs in. You can see down there these two ports, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a damn nightmare. It took me for ages to get it into a position that it felt secure. So I'd say that bit was probably the most frustrating bit. I'm pretty sure there was an easier way for them to do that, but they opted for that way, and you know, it will do. And to be fair, it's not like I'm going to have it in tank mode very often. So, but you can see how beautiful it is together. Oh, there we go. Tank mode. Okay, so here is the Megazord all transformed, and you can see how detailed this figure is when he is combined. He is absolutely fantastic. The only gripe that I kind of have was I feel like he's a little bit small, but he isn't. Well, no, sorry. I'm saying he is a bit small. He feels a bit small. I thought he was bigger, but you know, how can you tell during reviews? So he has some nice hand movements, some nice movements here. I'm not going to pretend what they're called. He has some lovely leg articulation. I'm worried that by doing this, I may drop him like that. You can see that he was about to go. So just going from the top to the bottom, all the way down. Everything is really, really shiny. Really, really nice, beautiful finishes on all of him. Look at the side. Just absolutely stunning. And you got the back, which as well looks absolutely stunning. I love the cannons up here. They look perfect compared to previous versions where the cannons have been slightly smaller. So for that part, he isn't small. The bit that bugged me was this bit. You know, this is quite a chest that when this goes on, you know, I would have liked it to cover that top, but when you go down here like this, you don't notice it. So from that perspective, it's all good, but I just would have liked it like that. Here is his amazing sword, and it is huge. I really love the tilt of the sword. It seems to really work to the good of this figure, because this bit was always, you know, it was a big tilt whenever he went to grab it. Okay, there it is, and you can see him holding it, how shiny it is. You probably see me shining out of it. You probably don't want to see me shining out of it, but you do see me shining out of it. I apologize. Nobody needs to see me when they're looking at a really, really awesome sword. And even holding it like this, like a kind of a sentry pose, just looks phenomenal. You could just have him on the shelf doing that. You also have the shield, which goes into his left hand. Well, it can go in any hand, but it usually goes in his left hand like this. And there we go. And from that angle, once again, looks very, very cool. If I get in the right position, and this bit just goes underneath it. It looks pretty. Once again, looks sensational, as the whole figure does. So this figure, I think, if you're a real hardcore Power Ranger fan, this is the one to get. It is expensive, but in saying that, most of the Legacy line is stupidly expensive, especially this one. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I'm a big fan of Power Rangers. Always wanted this, and this is at present the perfect version. So tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, SmurP. Follow me on Twitter at SmurP. No idea what I'm doing there, but I'm there. Embrace the geekiness.